Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Happy Friday, TGIF. Thank God we're here for another Friday, and we're coming to you live from New York City because that's where we originate, and coming to you live with the Coffee Hour. This is a show that we come every week and we get together, and we want to welcome you aboard and thank you for being with us all of these years. And for those of you who are new, we welcome you one and all. It's a place where we get together and we chat each week. We bring up conversation. And of course, we talk about the topics of the day, the topics of tomorrow, the topics of next year, or anything that you want to talk about. So those of you who are new, this is how it goes. When I start conversation, which I'm doing right now as the host of the show, in between all of that, you can chime in anytime you want. You can say hello. All you have to do is use your keyboard on your computer, your telephone, or of course, you can use it on your pad as well, or any other device that you can catch up with us. And I will see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. Maybe there's something that you want to talk about in particular other than what we initiate. You can do that too, and we will certainly be happy to do that for you. Also, if you just want to come in and just say hi or talk to others as they come in, you can do that too, because a lot of people, they talk to each other, they talk to me, and we just keep the show rolling. Now, those of you who are watching us for the very first time, we come in 3 different places. We come on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and also on Instagram. So I want to say hello to all of you people who are watching wherever you're watching. And if you're watching us for the first time, also know that you can tag your friends. If you're watching us on Facebook, all you have to do is look through your list of friends and the people that you want to select, maybe all of them, maybe not all of them. Maybe you have too many to tag, but maybe you'll select few, or you'll select one, or whatever it is. Just, take that information and you can tag this show directly to them. They will see that information is coming from you, and then they will click it on. And then when they click it, it'll bring them directly to us. And who knows, maybe if they like what they see, like what they hear, they could be possible members just like you and come in every week just like you. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go onto our YouTube channel and subscribe to us. You can do that. And it's very easy. The only thing that you have to do is take your mouse, point the arrow to where it says subscribe, and click on, and that's it. There's no charge, no fees, no nothing. That's all you have to do. And the benefit of being a member and a benefit of clicking on and subscribing to us is that from here on in, you can be sure that whenever we come on live, or if we so much post a video, you get a chance to see that. And you get a chance to be, I guess you could be notified for that, instantly notified. And because some people, when they're watching, or even if they're not watching, they're online and they just forget about the shows coming on. The reminder comes up whenever it comes on, or the reminder comes up whenever we post a video. So that's the benefit of subscribing to my YouTube channel. So do that right away. And for the rest of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, just continue to follow us. Tell your family and friends, keep the word percolating, and everything will be fine. In conjunction with the show and interacting with you, we also do our regular thing. For instance, in just a few minutes from now, not far away in this particular half hour, Brian Camp will be along. We're going to link up with him. He's coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, technology is so good. We can link from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's going to bring the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, that's called Sports Update. We'll get around seeing that. And those of you who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, of course, you'll get a chance to see him. If you're watching us on Instagram, we're not suited for that just yet. I don't know if or when that's ever going to happen. But if you actually want to see him, just come on Facebook and come on YouTube. You'll see him there. But listen, if you're watching us on Instagram, you'll get a chance to hear him. You'll hear him, but you won't see him. And you can still ask questions. You can still type in and ask questions. If you have any sports related comments to Brian when he comes in, He'll be able to answer all of your questions and talk about anything that you want to talk about in sports. He's very knowledgeable about that. So we have all of that coming up. Also, later on in the program, before the show is over, I have all of the information for movies that you like. Now, each week I have picks direct from Turner Classic Movies, my picks of the week for the weekend. For those of you who, in conjunction, do whatever you do on the weekends, but want to make sure that you want to take part of that weekend and catch up on some old movies. Well, I have a few that I want to add to your bucket list, and that's coming up, and that's later on in the show. Remember that all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any social media outlet or broadcast publications. And saying all of that, with all that said, let's do what we always do. Raise our cups, our glasses, and salute. Excuse me while I shoot up. Hot coffee in the morning sure makes my day. How about you? Whatever your beverage is, I hope that you're enjoying it. Maybe it's just orange juice. Everyone doesn't like coffee. Some people prefer orange juice or apple juice or whatever turns you on, right? To get that eye opener going, right? We appreciate you, of course, being here. So many things are happening. We always ask you guys, when you guys come in and you want to participate in conversation, we're going to ask you to do us a favor. It's not mandatory, just keep that in mind. But we always ask you, give us your weather forecast. Whatever your weather forecast is, it doesn't have to be a full-blown weather forecast. It could be like a small summary just to give us an idea what your weather is like, so we can compare notes what my weather is like and your weather is like and weather around the world. And speaking of around the world, no matter where you go around the world, we're right there with you. We're global. So this show is taking everywhere, all around the world. So please, if you do that engaging conversation, do us that little solid. But for those of you who live in New York or even in the vicinity of New York, don't worry about it. You dodged a bullet, because I will take care of all of that. I will convey the weather in New York for you. That's coming along in just a few minutes. As you already know, we're still in the month of June, and we're still in the midst of Pride Month, and people are celebrating. I talked about it on the show last night. People are doing different celebrations around the world, across the country. And I do realize that our president, our beloved President Biden, had a celebration at the White House not long ago. Just a few days ago, we had a celebration at the White House. And we love when people celebrate. We love when people have a good time, but don't get out of control with it. And I say that only because that there was an event that happened at the White House. When the event was going on, one lady decided that she was going to take off her top and expose herself. And her only thing was saying, well, I'm just trying to be who I am. You can still be who you are, but just do it in good taste. I mean, for Christ's sake, you're at the White House. You're at the White House. You invited. The president invites you to the White House. And I don't know the person that did that. I don't know if she was part of the celebration or if she was part of the LGBT community. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But she was at the White House, and anyone that's invited at the White House from the president, that's quite of an honor. And for someone to do that, it's just terrible. It's not right. So continue to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate Pride Month, but do it in style, do it in fashion, and do it with class. That's all we ask. Okay, we got that out of the way. Of course, that celebration goes on, and we're just about at the end of the month, as a matter of fact. Next week, next Friday, will be the very last day of June. And so that will put the end to Pride Month. And then we go on to other celebrations that come up. And then we go into the month of July. So when you talk about the month of July, what's the first thing you think about in the month of July? You think about the 4th of July, right? Independence Day, firecrackers and Coney Island beach weather and all of that. And of course, you already know summer is already officially in focus. It's already officially in effect. It occurred Wednesday, officially Wednesday. And summer is going to take us all the way to Saturday, September 23rd. That will be the end of summer. And then, you know, you got Labor Day, which will be the unofficial day of summer ending. That would be the unofficial day, but summer will still be in full force. So whatever you're going to do, look to those summer months, outdoor barbecues and all kinds of great celebrations. If you're living in New York, you got Coney Island, and people are going to be flocking everywhere. So we ask you to do everything safely and orderly and with a lot of class as well. Celebrate. Everybody celebrates. That's what we're here on Earth for, to enjoy the God-given great things that surround us. Let's not destroy them, and let's do everything with class. So thank you so much again. And if you're just joining us, it's 10 minutes past the hour right now, coming up to 11 minutes past the hour. And those of you, again, who are just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be here for the rest of the hour. And again, those of you who are watching us on Facebook, tag your friends and tell them that we're on the air. Let them know that we're out here just waiting to get involved and get everybody involved. Again, excuse me while I shoot up. Okay, there's another issue I mentioned last night, but it's worth mentioning again because it's all over the news, and it is big news. Everybody heard about it. 5 people on board on the Titan, that little, I guess is a little mini submarine, which they call the submersibles or submersible, I guess it's something like that. Anyway, it's a small submarine, and there were 5 men, including a 19-year-old. They were on the voyage of checking out the Titanic, the wreckage that is still there after all of these years. After 111 years, that wreckage is still down there. I'm surprised that it is, because, you know, water tends to erode a lot of things. And you know, some of the wreckage is still there. So they went there in this little tiny gizmo. And it's different from a regular submarine. Now, a regular submarine, when they go on a voyage like that, you're more likely to have a great voyage because everything is equipped. You have equipment that you need. You have plenty of air. You have all the equipment that's needed to go through the voyage. But this little gizmo that they have, this tiny little submarine, which is no longer than a minivan. Some people say it's big, but it depends on what you call big. But these 5 people gathered in there, and the only thing that they could see was a small window. So they had to take turns of looking out that window to see what they could see. And over last weekend, the mothership that carries it, because the mothership has to launch it and bring it back in. And they lost communication with that mothership. So therefore, they were floating out there, and then they started losing oxygen and all kinds of equipment that they need to survive. And consequently, they didn't survive. And they got the word came down just Thursday that these 5 men passed away in that little small submarine. And so we pray for them. We pray for their families. One of the members of the crew, his wife, and this is ironic, his wife, her family, his wife's family or ancestors, one of his ancestors, husband and a wife, passed away in the Titanic as the Titanic sunk. They got swept up in that. And so it's just ironic that he just got swept along in this thing and visiting the wreckage of the Titanic. And this is going to go down in history, ladies and gentlemen, along with the Titanic. Now, I don't know how many years before everything, you won't see anything at all, but as I said, water erodes, and sometimes erodes very quickly, but the Titanic was a huge ship. And so it takes a lot of time. It was 111 years ago when that happened. And so again, we say all of our prayers and our thoughts go out to the family of the people who were in that little tiny submarine. And so it's just unfortunate. And again, it all goes down in history. So our prayers out to them. And so that's what we have going on today. Did you hear? I don't know. I guess this is something that I just bring back every once in a while. I talk about little trivial things. I don't know if you're a fan. When I was a kid, we remember the Good Humor truck. The Good Humor truck. And you could hear the guy coming down. Either he had the truck or he had the Good Humor bicycle. And whenever he stopped in the neighborhood, he would ring his little bell, right? It was either the truck or the bicycle, and he's pushing that bicycle or the truck. And you could hear the Good Humor man, that ice cream truck coming by, and you go in, and he just opens that little door with the freezer. And once he opened that door, you could see the vapor come out of there. It's so cold, ice cold ice cream. Well, one of the favorites of the Good Humor bars, there were so many, but one of the favorites of the Good Humor bars was, and one of my favorites was called Toasted Almond, the Toasted Almond, right? And it's been selling for years. Now, I got the word just yesterday or the day before, that they're taking the Toasted Almond off the market. One of the best flavors I enjoy of Good Humor, they're taking the toasted almonds off the market. When I found that out, I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go to my local grocery store. And because I knew that they had some left over, at least I thought they had some left over. And I said, I'm going to go and grab me a bunch of them and put them in the freezer and let them, freeze for a while and just preserve them for a while, just preserve them for as long as I can. And I did that, and they were not there. And I was hoping maybe another company besides Good Humor makes those bars, those toasted almond bars. Maybe, you think about it, maybe. I don't think so. And I looked all over. I think they're gone. And maybe I was too late on buying what was left over. Maybe people beat me to it when they found out about it. And so it's gone. But rest in peace, toasted almond bars from Good Humor. Rest in peace. We say goodbye. And, it's always it's something like you remember a lot of things as a kid, and they're all taken away. What are some of the things that you remember as a kid that you once enjoyed one time, and they don't have them anymore? Do you remember? They don't have them anymore. They're all gone, and they're all taken away from us. That's sad. That's sad. Okay, I don't know. DJ Pete is going to be here later on with us, and we want to say good morning to him. We don't get a chance to talk to him that much, but he did leave us a weather forecast. So his weather forecast right now, he's in Portland, Maine. He's coming out in Portland, Maine. He's got sunshine. It's sunny in Portland, Maine, and he's going to have a high temperatures of 65 degrees. Early Saturday temperatures will go to 62. That's low for Saturday, I guess. I don't know what Saturday during the day, but low temperature 62 degrees for Saturday. Early Saturday 62, and winds out of the southwest and the southwest at 5 miles per hour. So that's what it's like in Portland, Maine. It's not too good here in New York. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you that right now before we put Brian on the air with sports. So let me give that to you right now. Let me find my weather forecast. What we have presently, it was kind of cool yesterday here in New York, but it's going to get a little warmer today because presently right now we have 68 degrees. We have 68 degrees right now. And depending on how you look at this weather, it's not going to be a total washout, but we will get some rain. So this is how it starts for Friday today. Steady light rain this morning, showers continuing this afternoon, high 74 degrees, winds will be east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chance of rain 60%. So you want to keep your umbrella handy. For tonight, showers and thunderstorms likely. We have a low 68 degrees, winds will be south-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chance of rain will be 70%. For Saturday, we have a mix of clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. We'll have a high near 80 degrees. Winds will be south at 5 to 10 miles per hour, chance of rain 60%. And for Saturday night, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, in the evening, I should say, and partly cloudy skies will happen overnight. Partly cloudy skies will have a low near 70 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain will be 40%. And as we wrap up our weekend and get back to the grind for Sunday, you're headed out to church, this is the better day out of everything. It's going to be partial cloudiness and early, and then we'll have scattered showers. Not too much, but just a few, and then scattered thunderstorms. But see, the sun is going to be out. And that's why I say it's the better day out of the week, even though we may get a little rain there. And in the afternoon, we'll have a high 82 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 50%. And repeating our current temperature, we have 69 degrees out there. And so whatever you're going to do over the weekend, please keep the umbrella with you. You know, keep that umbrella with you. You're going to need it. And so just do that. Okay. Here's something else we're going to do. We're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina right now because Brian Camp is in the wings. He's standing by right now, and he's here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. I know you had a lot of rain early. How did after we got off the air yesterday, did it rain some more?
It rained a little, some more. Yeah, it did, and nothing has changed overnight more than anything else. It's been off and on. Today's going to be the high is going to be 71. Excuse me, the high is going to be 82. It's 71 degrees now, but it's like the sun is playing peekaboo, is out for like 15 seconds, maybe a minute, and then it highs back, and then it starts to drizzle again. This is going to continue on, off and on all day into Sunday when it's supposed to clear up. But we've been having rain since Monday morning, and here we are Friday. So I don't have a problem with the rain. You know, it's especially, you know, during this time of the year. It would have been nice if it was like in the month of July. That's the middle of the summer in any city in the United States. That's the hottest point of the summer, is in the month of July. But, you know, water bill should be very low coming up for next month, you know. But I wanted to say, chocolate eclair, strawberry shortcake is the top two for me. The toasted almond, for good humor, I had a little snip of it, taste of it. It didn't really enlighten me. So I would pick chocolate eclair and the strawberry shortcake. Those are my top two.
You have plenty of it. I saw plenty of it in the supermarket yesterday.
Yes.
Eclair and the strawberry shortcake. I agree with you. I like those too. But I mean, I was kind of devastated when they said they were going to take the almond bars out, and I loved them as a kid, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, I don't know. To each their own. But the reason why they said that they're taking off the market, because it said it wasn't selling. They weren't selling them as much as they sell the other products that they have.
That's just like the Hostess pies. You have your top cherry and apple. My favorite was, believe it or not, was the strawberry that hardly ever came out to stores.
Yeah.
And I don't know why the strawberry didn't come out. I used to love it. Every time they used to go to certain stores, I used to stack up on them. I was much younger. I would not dare do that now. Even if I look at it, I get a toothache and we're ready to go to the dentist. So I would not dare to do that again.
My favorite was lemon pies.
Lemon pies, yeah, lemon pies, apple, and lemon, apple was the top two.
Yeah.
I didn't like the cherry too much, but I love the strawberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the strawberry.
I love the lemon and blueberry too. There was another one.
Yeah, I didn't really care too much for the blueberry. Yes, there was quite a few of them, but you get them on, you can get them online, I guess. I want
Yeah,
to get the Reggie bar too.
Amazon.
That's I want.
Well, listen, Amazon sells everything. So you can get everything from Amazon from soups to nuts. And
Yeah,
if you don't have them, they'll get them. All you have to do is ask for it.
That's right.
Okay.
But good morning to you and everybody out there, Pete. Hope all is well with you and whoever's listening globally. It is a happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, TGIF, and hope that we all have better weather elsewhere around the world, around the country here. But it's better. I'm happy just to see another day. So it doesn't matter if it's rain or snowing or what, or hot, whatever. We're here. We're humble ourselves to see another day, and we should be humble and be blessed to know that we're here, to even be at this point in our lives speaking on social media. Let me get to sports. Major League Baseball, a bus driver transporting the Pittsburgh Pirates is charged with a DUI. The trip began from Chicago to Milwaukee. Police escorted a notice, a police escort noticed an erratic driver and put a stop to the ride. Now, the driver is from Shelby, North Carolina. In this same state here, North Carolina, displayed multiple signs of impairment and was arrested after a state trooper initially requested an ambulance. Yeah, can't drink and drive. He was not affiliated with the team, which means the team did not hire him, but he was contracted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, who sometimes will go out of the organization and will rent out a bus. They could have flew, but apparently Chicago to Pittsburgh is not that far away. And that's what a lot of the teams do when there's no need to fly, when you could just take a bus. That's like going to New York to Philadelphia or New York to New Jersey. You just hop on a bus, they'll rent a bus and you could go. As you know, the NBA draft was last night. We had a lot of nice young prospects. A pair of twins was drafted 4th and 5th. They call them the Thompson twins. And we have some good young players coming into the league, coming up this year. If you're a number 1 draft pick, you're going to get a nice salary. Only if you're number 1 for your respective team. So ESPN also announced that tennis players Nashta Kola and Alexandra Riley were banned for the sport for life and were fined as much of a match-fixing case. They committed 25, both of them combined, committed 25 offensive from 2015 to 2020 and was fined $175,000. Now Riley, who's 32, is American, committed 15 offenses in the same period and was fined $50,000. And the penalties goes from different like aspects of matches of wagering, facilitating wagering, courtside conspiracy, and failing to report corrupt approaches and everything. That's a new thing that they have out. So these two players are banned for life. Never ever again will they ever play tennis. They may not even be able to ever step foot on a tennis court again. So they're banned for life. They're never really heard of them. So, it is a story. It is a story that we have to come and to give. This day in sports, June 23rd, New York Mets Jimmy Pisol hits his 100th career home run as he circled the bases backwards. Guess he was moonwalking backwards. Okay, I mean, that's a milestone for anybody who's not well known. 100 career home run, you want to circle the bases backwards? Okay. 1968, 74 people were killed and 150 injured in a football stampede. Now, in Europe, it's called football. In American, it's called soccer. It was stampede towards a closed exit in a Buenos Aires stadium. That's sometimes these matches, they get so out of hand. These things do occur. It happens. I'm not gonna say it happens a lot, but it happens once in a while where things get out of hand. Players lose for your respective country, and they take that sport very serious. Again, America calls it soccer. In other countries, foreign countries, especially in Europe, they call it football. In 1972, Bernice Giro becomes the first female umpire in U.S. pro baseball. There's the Geneva Senators versus the Auburn Twins. 1972, former U.S. President Richard Nixon signs a Barron Act against sex discrimination in college sports. So as you know, this is Pride Month in June. So this is a story that leads right into it. 1988, New York Yankee manager Billy Martin, his fifth term ends. Got fired again. Who gets fired from the same job 5 times? Only the New York Yankees. Lou Piniella was named the manager. 2003, Barry Bonds steals second base versus the Dodgers to be the first player to ever hit 500 home runs in the field and to steal 500 bases. Birthdays on this date: 1925, Cleveland Browns owner and Modell store owner. Yes, Art Modell, who is the founder of Modell's Sporting Goods store and owner of the Cleveland Browns, was born in Brooklyn, New York. 1940, Wilma Rudolph, 3 times Olympic gold medalist, was born in St. Bethlehem, Tennessee. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a gloomy week here at the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. But we're not complaining.
If you fire me, you're only going to get a chance to do it once. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, I guess Billy Martin was a freak for controversial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even in his younger days when he was playing, you know, and he hung out with the Klan of Mickey Mantle, Whitey Ford. They went to the bars and they got into brawls and
yeah, oh yeah, you know,
and he didn't care. He broke all the rules. I mean, you know, he used to kick dirt on the umpire's shoes. The umpire's shoes.
Yeah. Fighting with Reggie Jackson in the dugout on the national televised.
On national TV. Yeah. And if anyone had never seen that, go to YouTube. It's right there. The whole thing right there. You know, you talk about it was a Jim Pearsall you were talking about who ran the bases backwards
for his 100th career home run. Yeah.
Well, you know, I never seen anyone run bases backwards either. You know, but I remember Jim Pearsall. I used to watch him at the games when he used to come into town to play the Yankees. But you know, it's a known fact too that Jimmy Pearsall had a mental problem as well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And that's all depicted in a movie. I don't know if you ever seen the movie called Fear Strikes Out with Anthony.
I haven't seen that.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a movie about Jimmy Pearsall. It was played by Tony Perkins, who played in Psycho.
Psycho, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they picked a great guy to play Jimmy Pearsall. You know, because I guess because hey, you know, if he could play Psycho,
Anthony Perkins was made for that part.
Yeah, he really was. You know, he did a lot of movies where he was kind of playing a little psycho.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anthony Perkins.
I mean, I've heard stories in real life about him that said that he was a little off his rocker, but I don't know how true that is. But anyway, the Jim Pearsall story, if you ever want to check it out, it's called Fear Strikes Out. And maybe it's on YouTube. I don't know. It might be on YouTube. You can check it out. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thanks for the sports. I guess we'll catch you back here next week on Talk Back Live.
Yes, and everybody having a good weekend. Coming off of Juneteenth
Yep.
this past Monday. Hope all is well. Be safe, and to my fellow smokers out there, smoke on, as we always say in the smoking business. I'm making me some beef ribs this weekend. Yes.
Beef ribs.
Yes,
Wow.
a change. It's going to be a change. I'm tired of doing pork ribs. I'm going to make some short beef ribs, and it's a 6 to 7 hour process on the smoker. So I want to have that, and I'll make some nice little sides to it.
Sounds tasty. Send over a care package.
I sure will. Yes.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Take care.
Everybody be.
Okay, it's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And he's going to be along with us next week, too, on Talk Back Live. He makes me hungry every time he comes on this show. He really does. I'm hungry. Now I'm going to have to, I don't do grilling or anything like that. You know, maybe I should start thinking about doing things like that. But until that happens, I'm just going to have to go for the old standby, go to the supermarket and go through, you know, you see where they do those rotisserie chickens and ribs and all of that. It's not the same, but hey, you know, it's better than nothing. Hey, if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. I'm aboard with you up until the top of the hour. We're going to be here. You just heard from Brian. DJ Pete is going to be here today. In just a few minutes, we're going to have him aboard with us. But yeah, when we talked about all of those things that they took away from us, all of those good things like ice creams and all of that stuff. I remember when I was a kid, because I love pies. Growing up as a kid, I loved pies. And one of my favorite pies was, like I said, lemon pie. Another favorite of mine was coconut custard pie. And I used to stock up on coconut custard pie. Now, when I was growing up as a kid in Brooklyn, where I was living at that particular time, and I grew up in Williamsburg. I grew up in the Williamsburg area, and I lived all over Brooklyn, Williamsburg and Brighton Beach, and you know, out there near Coney Island, and I lived in Carroll Gardens, you know, all of those places. You Brooklynites and New York people know these places. And they had a pie truck. Actually a pie factory, but they used to drive the pie truck through the neighborhood, and they used to stop off and deliver the pies. And we used to go to the pie factory over there in the pie trucks, and the guy, you know, left his pie truck unattended, right? And all of these pies are in that truck, right? So we go in the back of the truck and we used to grab a bunch of pies. and I saw all of these lemon pies and these coconut custards, and I used to grab a bunch of them, and I was carrying them like I was carrying a baby. You know, I was terrible as a kid. You know, I mean, kids don't do this at home. Today, you don't get away with things like that. We were mischievous. We were boys, and we were mischievous, and we did things like that. I don't recommend anyone to ever do those things. And smack myself on the hand for ever. Don't do that no more. You know. And I wasn't a bad kid growing up. I was just mischievous. I was being a boy. I mean, I used to do that, hit the pie trucks, and living in Coney Island, the train used to pass through the house, right? Pass by the house. It was that close to the L, right? And it passed by the house. And outside, you know, I used to, the train used to come by, and I used to throw rocks and tennis balls up as the train passed by. That was terrible. That was terrible. You know, I don't know how I got away with all of those things, but today you can't get away with things like that. So that's why I always say, kids, if you're watching, don't try it. Don't ever do it. Don't throw rocks at trains. Don't hit pie trucks. Don't do anything. That little boy that I was talking about, he's gone. He's out of here. He left a long time ago. I don't know where he is now, but he's gone. He's gone out of my life. So, you know, so I decided I was going to separate myself from him and be a do-gooder and become someone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are right here again. It's the coffee hour. And again, we're going to be here till the top of the hour. And we want you to stay with us. There's so many things to talk about. And by the way, if there's something in particular that you want to talk about, please feel free, type in even if you want to say hi. Just want to say hi, that's okay too. Say hi, or maybe you have something to say about the show, or you want to know more about the show, why we're here, why we're doing this. I don't have an answer for that. All I know is that we're here. I don't know. And so now, to get me out of trouble, DJ Pete is here now, and he's coming along, and he has entertainment news for him. We don't get a chance to talk to him too much, but we will talk to him today. For those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, here he is. Right, we're linking up right now, coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina into Portland, Maine, and there he is right now, ready to go. Welcome, 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 DJ P.
Hello, Frank. Can you hear me? Test 1, 2.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How's everyone today in internet world out there?
They used to, a long time ago, they used to say cyberspace. Remember that?
Cyberspace. Yeah. Well, that was an '80s term. If a lot of people remember TV shows like Max Headroom and the film Running Man, it was the style of the set, what they called cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So they took like old technology, new technology, and kind of merged them together.
Yeah.
For the set design for those shows, it was pretty neat stuff back then. So,
internet, called the internet the information highway or something like that.
Information superhighway. Yeah. Give me a moment here. I got to get my birthdays up this week here because I've been having
information superhighway. I remember. Yeah. So 80s.
Yeah, or the WW World Wide Web.
Yeah. They don't even use that anymore.
Well, yeah, remember the term bulletin boards?
Yes.
In computers. So
yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a.
Remember when you used to start up your computer a long time ago? You used to go.
Oh yeah, dial-up modems. Actually, dial-up is still around.
It is still around. No,
it's not heavily used, but it's still around. Certain businesses, certain people still have it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can't get online with a cell phone. You can't get online with a computer.
Yeah.
That if you if you don't have a place to plug in, if you don't have Wi-Fi, if you don't have mobile data cell phone network available, dial-up works.
Yeah.
It's slower, but it still works.
Yeah, it still works. I used to sound of that though.
yeah. I love dial-up stuff. I remember it. I'm going to do a brief thing on a bunch of names here. First one I have, June 18th, 1942, is Paul McCartney of the Beatles. Who else do I have here? June 19th, 1902, Guy Lombardo's birthday. June 19th, 1897, Mo Howard of the Three Stooges. Let's see, who else do we have here?
You're going to want to stay away from him.
Let's see. June 20th, 1920, Danny Cedrone. And I just celebrated some of his music on my radio show this week. Danny Cedrone was a session guitarist for Bill Haley's Comets. For Bill Haley, I should say. He worked with Bill Haley when his band was called the Saddlemen. Worked with them later when it was called the Comets. That famous song, Rock Around the Clock, that guitar solo, is Danny Cedrone. I actually got to meet his wife and daughter in Philly a number of years ago. And they told me the story about it. He unfortunately fell down the stairs and died. But they found his guitar at a pawn shop somewhere in the Philly area and said, "We want to get this back. We'll pay anything for it." The guy said, "I'll tell you what, I'll sell it to you for $150. That's what I paid for it, $150. So That guitar, I believe, is now on display at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Uh, out, out, where are they? In Cleveland?
Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah, yeah. So nice little story there. Not a lot of people know it. Janet, Danny's daughter, told me the story. Um, she has a flower shop down in Philly. Great place. You know,
Janet is also a
down
disc jockey.
there. I'm not sure she's a disc jockey. I know her husband is.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she was too, because I used to.
Okay.
We worked on the same station together.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, her husband is a disc jockey. He played oldies, but she played oldies too. She's familiar with the oldies too. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's
Okay.
Janet Alvarez.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call her the queen. They call her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. I also have, June 20th, 1924, Chet Atkins, country musician, singer. I have June 20th, 1952, actor John Goodman. And he was in a lot of films. Blues Brothers 2000. He was on Saturday Night Live several times, I'm sure. Great guy. June 21st, 1908, Jim Wynn, Wynn, also known as Big Jim Wynn, not to get Jim Wynn confused with another Jim Wynn who was a baseball player, I believe. So Brian may know about him. He was a tenor sax player, jump blues player in the 1950s, had a lot of great tunes. Who else do we have here? Chris Christopherson, June 22nd, 1936. Ella Johnson, related to Buddy Johnson, June 22nd, 1918. And she was a singer back then. And I'm sure she sang with Buddy and some other people. Helen Humes. Now, this lady was wild during the 50s.
Mhm.
Jump blues sounds, but I think she started in gospel stuff and then went on to jump blues. June 23rd, 1913, she has a really fun song called Wuja Makuja. I don't know what it means, but it's fun to dance to and listen to.
I hate to think what it means.
I'm sure I have an idea what it
I
means,
have
but
an
we'll talk
idea.
about it later.
It's like saying hoochie coochie.
Yeah, hoochie coochie, Uja Makuja. Okay, all right. Yeah, they used a lot of colorful words back then. And the last one I have is June 24th, 1900. Country western star Gene Austin, and that's what I got for this week.
Okay. I love Helen Humes. I love her music though. And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
goes way back. But that and then when they sung those songs like Hoochie Coochie, that was kind of loose. You know, a lot of read between the lines of those songs. I mean, you think like the songs, they always say like some of the songs are explicit today, but it was the same thing back
Yeah,
then.
they didn't have the F word. They didn't have a lot of words like that.
Yeah, but there were certain songs. There were certain songs you could read between the lines as an adult. You could know.
Yeah. A lady at my church who loves the '50s music. She wanted to talk about some of this stuff with her kids in school, and I said, before you do so, listen to the lyrics first.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a lot of things about, I'll just say, sexuality, abusing women, all sorts of issues like that. So just listen carefully to the lyrics before you do it.
I mean, little things like let's say like "Roll with Me, Henry," right? Now, I mean, I don't see any harm with that, but that was kind of, they took that off the air at one point.
I'm sure they did.
They took it off the air, and then she had to recut it, and it's called "Dance with Me, Henry."
Yeah. Big Joe Turner had the tune "Shake, Rattle, and Roll."
Right.
Bill Haley in the Comets covered it.
Yeah.
That's about abusing women. Okay,
Yeah.
but part of it is part of
Yeah.
it. But not. I mean, I wouldn't totally say it is, but it's kind of, it leans toward in that direction there.
Yeah,
Um,
and Bill Haley, part of his song, he says, "Roll my breakfast because I'm a hungry man." It's like get up out of that bed
yeah,
and wash your
yeah,
face. Oh, yeah. Oh boy,
yeah,
those days are over. Those days are over.
yeah. Those days are over. I mean, that's Ralph Cramden
Yeah,
honeymooners
a
back then.
mere present.
But back then it was a whole different world too. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
not saying anything's wrong with it, but it was just a whole different world, and
Yeah,
our world has changed over the decades.
yeah.
So what do you have for names this week?
Oh, well, I don't have too many, just three, as a matter of fact. I have
Okay.
actress Selma Blair, is 51 years old. Singer Chico DeBarge from the group DeBarge is 57 years old. And the late June Carter Cash was the husband of Johnny Cash. She would have been 94. And that's it.
Yeah, you
Yep.
you and Brian were talking about pies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I want to jump in on this. Okay.
Okay.
I grew up with cheesecake with cherries, not strawberries, cherries.
Okay.
Hardly anyone does it.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and that which leads me into the next thing. I like rhubarb pie. I had it when I was a kid. My mom and dad would make it. The,
Yeah.
the house we used to live in a long time ago, there was a rhubarb patch. My
Mm.
dad would go picking some out and make it up.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to a restaurant or any place out there and you see rhubarb strawberry pie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, no, you got to have just the rhubarb. And I think I know why they do that. Cherries are somewhat tart. Rhubarb is very tart,
Yeah.
but I like that rhubarb taste, and I don't want strawberries messing with it. I'm not saying anything wrong with strawberries.
Yeah.
Strawberries are great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay, it's like to me, cheesecake is with cherries
Mhm.
and not strawberries.
Mhm.
And rhubarb pie, just rhubarb, no strawberries mixed in. Nothing against strawberries,
No.
but
Oh. What's
so
on the horizon for your radio show?
oh, so I just punched it up in the
Okay.
chat room here. Let's see me hit this button. I'm
Yeah.
on WMPG radio most Tuesdays, 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. I alternate with another great guy, DJ Faulty. His show is Faulty Wiring. So if you don't hear me, you'll hear Faulty those hours on Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
And I am on radio airwaves online most of the time. Most Thursday nights, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Radio-airwaves.co.uk. I'm also on social media, Facebook and Twitter, for those people out there. And that's what I got. And speaking of food, like cheesecake and stuff, I got my Greek hat on. I got my Got Uzo shirt on. My church in Portland is having our annual Greek food festival. Okay, if you like Greek food, it's a place to be. But I know a lot of people watching are all over the U.S. and all over the world. So, especially those here in the United States and maybe in Canada watching, I'm not sure about other places, but Greek churches have a food festival, once a year during the summer, usually. So check out what their schedule is. If you like that food, go get it. It's fun stuff. You'll like it.
Good. DJ, good to see you again. We'll catch you
Yeah,
back soon. Okay.
yeah, definitely. I'm not sure what my schedule is next
Yeah.
week, but everyone's doing well up here. We're having fun. We're eating. We're drinking. We're doing working shows, and we'll see you next time.
You take care of yourself. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right. Okay, that's DJ Pete, ladies and gentlemen. We don't get a chance to see him often, but he was here and bring us some entertainment news. For those of you who like to get in touch with me, please feel free. I have two sources that you could work with. I have an email address and a telephone number. My email address is Frank Allan Prod, ALLAN. Prod is PROD. That stands for production. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Or the telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Those movies that you like, I have my picks of the week, so let's get started with that right now. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? That was back in 1962, starring Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out Friday at 9:45 p.m. Eastern. A Star is Born from 1954, starring Judy Garland and James Mason. It's on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Roberts, nice little comedy from 1955 with Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, and James Cagney. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 5:30 p.m. A relaxing time of the day to watch it on a Saturday. And On the Waterfront from 1954, starring Marlon Brando, Eve Marie Saint, and Carl Malden. And that's on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. A nice little comedy and musical, Calamity Jane from 1953, starring Doris Day and Howard Keel. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check that out on Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern. So if you don't get a chance to watch it that early in the morning on Sunday, you're off to church and ready to go, record it on your DVR and watch it at a later time. You can do the same thing for all of the movies that I'm talking about too. And finally, a classic from 1959. This is not the original, but it's my original, called Imitation of Life, starring Lana Turner, John Gavin, and Sandra Dee. You can check that out. That's coming up Sunday on Turner Classic Movies at 12 p.m. Eastern. A lot of good stuff. Now, those of you who want more, you can go on Turner Classic Movies and check out the program guide. You may see things in there that you haven't seen before, or maybe you would jog your memory, or maybe I didn't mention, not because I didn't like them or don't like them. It's only because these are my picks of the week. And of course, you can go there and check out a lot of things. Also, while you're there, check out a lot of things. There have movies, all of these great movies that you haven't seen in a long time. You call them movie on demand. They're movies that date back to the 30s, up to the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, a whole list from A to Z. And you can take your picks, and sometimes they replace the movies after they leave them there for a certain amount of time and replace it with new ones. They kind of recycle these movies, and because anytime that you miss them, they usually at some point come back again. But from A to Z, all of these great movies you can check out right there on the Movie on Demand. Also, if you want the latest movies, you can check out Movie on Demand and Pay-Per-View. Pay-Per-View movies are the movies that are up to date and movies that are in the theater now. But if you prefer not to go to the theater, you could also go there on demand and check out the new movies of the day. They're out there. All of the networks, and if you like Lifetime movies, see what's available for all of that. Lifetime movies. You could also check out, there's a lot of documentaries. Oh my God, a lot of great documentaries, right? And some news, soap operas. You know, if you like some of the soap operas, you missed them one day, or if they're preempted, I can guarantee you they're there the following day, right there on demand on ABC and CBS and all of these great networks, and you can check them all out. They're right there for you. So please enjoy them. So let me check out these movies once again for you. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? That's with Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, and that's at 9:45 p.m. on Turner Classic Movies. A Star is Born with Judy Garland, James Mason on Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Roberts, a nice comedy with Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, and James Cagney. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's on Saturday You can check that out on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And on the waterfront with Marlon Brando and Eve Marie Saint, Carl Malden. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and Calamity Jane's with Doris Day and Howard Keel. And that's Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern, and Imitation of Life with Lana Turner, John Gavin, and Sandra Dee. That's Turner Classic Movies on Sunday at 12 p.m. I hope you get a chance to watch these movies, and I know that you will enjoy it. My weekend is officially underway right now, so that means I got to get out of here, but I will be back here on next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live, and Brian Camp will be with me with sports. He'll be around, and you'll get a chance to talk to him and ask him questions if you like. Other than that, I will come back here on next Friday morning at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. We'll all be here together. I hope you will too. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and if you're in one of those weather conditions like I will be, stay dry. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.